If you think for 1 minute that Ric Flair is done, you're out of your mind. Diamonds are forever, and so is Ric Flair. Woo!
Was invited. And there was an uppercut. What a shot. Danger. Oh, there it is, right hand.
He leaps it off here in game 5. And he hits a high drive in the deep right. And it is gone. He hits the first pitch for a home run.
It's popped up. Boom. Rose. They'll have a play. Boom dropped it and Rose caught it. Rose was right there.
Chase Turner, CEO, SD Bullion, today came to an on-site visit down to Celebrity Mint. Was able to get some time with one of the co-founders, Kenny Duncan here. Kenny, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for having me. I guess
Of course.
I'm in your facility.
Yeah, anytime.
So as you know, we just started selling some Celebrity Mint product on our website, the Tyson Gold and Silver cards. The response from the customer base has actually been really strong. So I called Kenny and said, hey, can I come down there? Let's talk about Celebrity Mint. Let's introduce Celebrity Mint to our followers, to our customers. And also, you know, what can you show us maybe that's not online yet, that's coming? We can talk about all that. So
Yeah.
we're going to cover everything Celebrity Mint today, and just super excited to be here. We've been talking about this for a while now, I know.
Yeah, Berlin,
And,
actually, Berlin.
Oh, yeah, February, since
Yeah.
February. SD Bullion's we've been talking about, we kind of creeped in, and we're getting pretty excited about what you guys are doing at Celebrity Mint, so that's why I came down. So I guess just to get us rolling, and we're going to go we get a lot of product here, right? You're going to be seeing it, some amazing stuff. Pete Rose, we got one of ones on the table that we're going to be going through. But I just wanted to get to know Celebrity Mint first, because there's a lot of questions that I have, even though we've been talking about it.
Sure.
That's why I came down in person, so we could just talk. So I guess, what was the original idea behind Celebrity Mint from day one? What were you trying to accomplish?
Right. So Celebrity Mint, I'm big into collectibles, right? I mean, coins, that's the hobby that I live in. That's the hobby that I eat, breathe, and sleep from. And then it spilled into Bullion. And then I've always had an affinity for collecting baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards, and my favorite athletes, even as a young child. And I never really saw the value in that. So I really stopped as I got a little bit older. The value proposition in cards just wasn't there for me.
Okay.
And when I started in my 20s, I started getting into coins. And that's when I really started to understanding asset classes, ones that I felt like were things that would be progressive in terms of value and growing value. With coins, I always felt like there was a rarity factor involved, right? You couldn't go to a coin show and just find 10 rookie cards, if we were going to go and cross into that, right?
Yeah.
You would find maybe, let's take a 93S dollar, for example, the rarest Morgan silver dollar. You might see one or two on the entire floor. If I go to a card show and I'm looking for Michael Jordan, I'm going to find 10 of his rookie cards, maybe more, maybe in even every case.
Yeah.
So fast forward, we had this big Bullion run, and during
Through COVID.
During COVID, right, you had this crazy Bullion run, but also too, in parallel, the sports card and sports collectibles was growing at a rapid pace. Fanatics got involved, started locking in high-level athletes exclusive to sign deals with. So I started to think, how can we merge rare coins and bullion, and sports card and memorabilia together into one product where we're making very limited pieces with the athlete directly, so it's licensed with the athlete, and let's add some fun signatures and inscriptions. And that's how really Celebrity Mint was born, and this was our first product, was this 2-ounce silver Tyson.
It looks like a proof coin to me. That's a 2-ounce Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson was the first celebrity you launched with?
Yes. Yeah, he was the first celebrity that we had under contract.
That's a huge name.
Yeah.
I literally just saw him on a Netflix series, King of Collectibles,
Yeah.
like 2 nights ago when I was watching. How do you land a guy like Mike Tyson to launch Celebrity Mint?
In the back of a restaurant in a handshake deal, honestly. I wanted to make an impact. So a lot of advice I was getting from people in the hobby was, start off slow. Let's get a couple B-list guys or some C-list guys, and make a couple products, and that's just. It was probably a smart move, but I wanted to be bigger. I wanted to make a bigger splash, and I also saw the market changing a little bit at that time. And as you know, with coins, there's lead time on production.
Yep, it's a lot harder than creating cards, I have to imagine.
Right. Well, then also too, when you add the legal tender part of it, right? So every one of our products are legal tender.
Yep.
So, we add that because, again, we don't want to be mimicked. And if I have a very successful sellout, I don't want anyone to wonder, are we going to reprint like they do in cards, right? We wanted to do the legal tender route because I wanted everyone to know transparently, we made 1,000, we sold out.
Yep.
We're not making any more.
Done.
It's done. Yeah. We're on to the next project. We're on to the next player, the next athlete, etc.
Yeah. And that circles back into the collectible side. So going back to the origin story, so you kind of had an idea, saw an opportunity. And then as far as obviously SD Bullion, we're one of the largest bullion houses in the world at this point. We're certainly dabbling into other spaces that our customer base finds interesting. Essentially, Celebrity Mint's trying to bridge the gap in some ways between somebody who's collecting gold and silver or buying gold and silver,
right,
and somebody who's maybe interested in other collectibles, cards. There's all kinds of collectibles out there, right? So I guess, how do you bridge that gap? Why should I be interested in this 2-ounce Mike Tyson coin, for example, if I'm a regular silver buyer or gold stacker?
Well, if you're a regular silver buyer, then you already understand the importance of having silver in your portfolio, right? If you want to, in my opinion, in the way that we see it as Celebrity Mint, if you want to do it responsibly, then do it intrinsically, right? Do it where collect your hero or collect the guy you grew up loving, but do it where you have a little backstop, where you've got a little floor.
Yeah.
And I felt like with the coins that we created, that we did that. You take the autograph that has a retail price of its own. You take your 2 ounces of silver that has a price of its own, and then you make it rare and you give it a value, which is a price of its own. You're giving a three-headed monster of collectability and value. And I wanted to hone in on that. I didn't want to make a product in mass scale and blow it out and do what everybody else is doing. Right. I wanted to do something a little bit more boutique, and that's what we did with Celebrity Mint.
Yeah, I mean it's very limited mintages, very limited runs, right? Which kind of layers in that collectible side because, I'm sure all the products that we're going to show today that have been on the market, I'm sure you can go online and find the prices that they're already selling at. And as every year that goes by, because there's a limited mintage of them, especially the ones that have autographs on them, they're just going to raise in value because of the exclusivity that you guys are creating. And I think the biggest thing for me that we talked about so far, just hanging out, is I was telling you I was watching people rip cards because I'm just trying to learn about this side of the world here. And they got this box of cards that they spend $300,000 on, and they're just ripping these cards and, it's worth nothing, and throwing it on the ground. It goes in the trash can. It's mind-boggling to me, whereas if you pick up anything from Celebrity Mint, which is by and far the same concept as collecting cards. I mean, this is a Pete Rose. We'll get into the Pete Rose thing that's coming down. I mean, it's an amazing card. It's always going to have a base level of silver and gold, and right now in 2024, silver and gold are just going crazy. So actually, the base value of the metal alone in these is going up every day right now in 2024. And as we know, as you've been in the gold space forever, gold and silver, me too, precious metals never lose purchasing power over the long term.
100%.
That's the best thing about them.
That's why we did it, honestly. I mean, you nailed it with that, and that's exactly right. And it also doesn't tie you into that athlete. So I think a lot too with cards. Let's just say, for instance, Luka Doncic, right? Okay. He's huge. He's one of the biggest names in basketball, and he's one of the highest collected basketball players in the market completely. When Dallas ran into the playoffs last year and got snubbed out by Minnesota, the value of his products dropped.
Wow.
Right? His cards dropped significantly during that time. Now, once the NBA season rallies up, it'll go back up again because people are going to they're going to collect a guy like Luka because Luka has a high ceiling. Whereas our Celebrity Mint product, the Tyson Gold base card, is up 20% just in intrinsic value.
Yeah.
Just in the intrinsic value. So it doesn't matter what Tyson does, right? It doesn't, Tyson's old. He's going to fight Jake Paul November 15th. And regardless if he wins or loses, his collectability is not going to change because he's a superpower in collectibles. And you look across the breadth of all the collectibles that are made of Tyson, how many of them are exclusive? Yeah. Like, how many boxing gloves do you see out there? How many, 8x11s? Like, everybody has them. They're not exclusive.
Well, I remember watching, I went back and watched a live that you guys did on eBay with Tyson, and I remember when you showed him, I don't know if it was, you probably remember, I don't know if it was
that coin.
Okay, it was this one, and he's looking at it and he's marveling over it and literally says something along the lines of like, thank you, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
He said, I'm humbled.
I'm humbled. Yeah, he said something
He said,
like,
I'm humbled. He's honestly, and even off camera, he's like, Kenny, he's like, there's been a lot of people make products of us, or me, and I've never seen anything that I'm like in awe over.
Yeah.
And that to me was exactly why we did this, because we weren't going to take a shot of making something of one of the most polarizing athletes on the planet and miss.
Yeah.
Right? So, and even with one of our Chibi products that we have coming down the pipeline, I think it captures. I mean, I'm a Tyson fan since I'm 10 years old, right? And I look at that and I get some nostalgia from it. I just think it's ridiculously cool.
I mean, cards are beautiful, and some cards are more beautiful than other cards, but there's just nothing like holding a presentation like this in your hand and owning it.
And here's the raw version that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that the Chibi's so, it's so thick, it's so interesting, it looks so much different when you're holding it in your hand versus, when it's slabbed like that. So it's really cool to get to see what a Chibi actually looks like. That's a really cool Chibi of Tyson. Yeah. Did he see these?
Yeah. Oh, he loved them. He looked at him. He started laughing. He goes, "This is just crazy." He's like, I didn't know you could make coins like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back of a restaurant, handshake deal with Tyson.
Yeah.
And then Ric Flair comes next.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, with Flair, I'm looking for polarization, right? I'm looking for people that have done well in their sport or their entertainment venue and have eclipsed in worldwide popularity.
Right.
And you look at a guy like Ric Flair, again, if you're a Ric Flair fan, you own an 8x11 of him, doing one of his famous moves, right? Or you own a championship belt where he inscribes 16 times world champ. But what's exclusive? What can someone say, I have one of 500 of these and no one else has it? And a lot of times people do that as a gimmick, but in the memorabilia world, no one would ever do that because they would price themselves out of selling scale. And we're not scared to do that because we're from the coin world and we understand that exclusivity is king.
Right.
And just like with any new company, you have your kind of have your come to Jesus moment where you're like, hey, listen, we did a great thing here, but we need to clean up a couple things, right? We need to shift gears here a little bit. And I think we did that with the Pete Rose product where our customer base said, hey, we love what your guys are doing, but here's some feedback.
Here's some feedback. Yeah.
We took the feedback. We added more autographs. We made more exclusive products with the inscriptions.
Okay.
And again, I think the value with having some of that first edition stuff is that it doesn't matter because it's first edition.
Right.
And no one looks at first edition 20 years back and critiques it.
Right.
They say, look where they've come from.
Right.
Look how they've grown. So look, we take it with a grain of salt. We appreciated all the feedback. We were actually astonished by how many people really were big fans of Celebrity Men. Because I think they realize, just like you said, I still love basketball cards and baseball cards.
Yeah.
I still buy them. I still break boxes. But I know what I'm getting myself into, right? I know the downside. Where when I create these Celebrity Mint products, I keep the downside the number one priority. Okay. How can we protect our customer base?
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, how can you best serve the customer base?
That's what it's all about, right? If I want to continue to make products, then I have to appease the base, right? And that's taking the feedback, that's getting outside of myself, putting my ego to the side of what I think is going to work and saying, hey, what do the people want, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same way that we approach exclusive products that we do at SD Bullion. It's basically what is the customer getting? And making sure that the value add is there for the customer, right? And we do that really well at SD Bullion, and that's why we were always slow to bring on new partners. And then we started with the Tyson cards, and we're here. I want to see everything that you got. I mean, you've got, Pete Rose is amazing. Then you got, I don't know, who's more famous in boxing, Mayweather or Tyson? I don't really know.
Well, I think Mayweather obviously has a better pedigree in terms of 50-0. He just couldn't get beat. The guy just, whenever you're undefeated, it's hard to say that a guy that has been defeated, even in his prime. Tyson, he got beat in his prime, right? He got caught. I think he wins that fight 9 times out of 10. But history is what history is.
Right.
Floyd Mayweather, in my opinion, is a name bigger than himself. I mean, the guy has built a brand that is just extreme. It's over the top, and he's done a great job managing it. His products, I would say, probably on the memorabilia side, to be completely honest with you, are probably fall second to a guy like Tyson.
Okay.
Because the brutality of Tyson's knockouts were just unlike anyone's ever seen. And I don't, even as a kid, I've told this story before. I used to sneak over to friends' houses to watch Tyson fights whose parents would
Get the pay-per-view.
Yeah, because we didn't have any money.
Yeah,
My parents didn't have $49 to buy a fight of somebody they didn't care about.
Yeah.
So we would huddle up like at my buddy's house and literally sleep in sleeping bags because the fights would come on at 10:30 at night, and we would sit there and watch them. I never did that for a Floyd Mayweather fight. Now I went to buddies' houses and watched them. Maybe missed the prelims, but like when the Tyson fight was on, it was a freaking family event, right? And it was like let's huddle around. I remember sitting at my grandpa's house watching him knock out Michael Spinks, and we were so sad that it only happened in like a minute or something. Like it was so instant. We were like, man, we waited this whole time, and the brutality of Tyson was different than anything.
It's unmatched.
It's unmatched. So it's just
the highlight videos from that versus what you see as a Mayweather.
Yeah, right.
It's totally different.
Right. Yeah. Mayweather was more like, pinpoint. His defense was something that you've never seen before. His wind, his battery was different than everybody else's.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but the Mayweather coins absolutely came out great.
Listen, the Mayweather coins, when I got them in, I mean, honestly, I was, I just kind of did like a fist pump like this.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, they did.
Yeah.
Again, our design team did an amazing job designing the products.
Okay.
And I don't think we highlight our design team enough. These are not products that are just slapped together. These are, we try to use little nuances from every single thing that makes this person as just as polarizing as they can be, and we try to take little pieces. Like a lot of times, like this, that's him knocking out Trevor Burbank.
He's looking okay.
Yeah, so that's the fight where he won the championship belt.
Yeah, and hopefully we can catch on camera. The high relief of these coins. Hopefully we can catch this on camera when we do the close-ups, because it's just incredible. It's not like buying a silver buffalo round or even a high relief.
I'll tell you a
release.
secret.
This is
totally
different.
Off, kind of off the path here. So, a company approached us that has sold products like this on television before, and they're like, "Hey, what do you have that's non-coins?" I said, "Well, why would you not want coins?" They're like, "Well, because nobody can make coins the right way." I said, "Let me send you a package." I sent them a package of this 5 ounce. This is a 10 ouncer, but I sent him the 5 ounce Tyson, and he calls me and he goes, "How did y'all make this?" And I was like, "Well, that's for us to know.
Right.
Like, how many do you want?" And he's like, "Well, I want my own exclusive. Like, what athletes can we get?" And so we're currently talking with that customer right now because he said, "I've seen coins." He's like, "Nobody can make coins that face up to the retail public the way that we need to." And he just said, my mouth dropped when I saw this coin. He said, "This coin changed my opinion of coin making."
Of what's possible.
Yeah. And credit to, again, designers, but also the manufacturing.
Yeah.
Coin manufacturing's come a long way.
Yeah.
And I think that, look, I love Celebrity Mint, but I love coins more. Right? And I'm telling you, I think some of the things that we have coming down the pipeline are going to be some next level things.
All right, so you pushed out Tyson, Flair. You just started dropping Pete Rose, right? And
it's coming. Yeah, Pete Rose will be coming up in the next week or so.
Yeah, it's coming soon. By the time we're making this video.
By the time exactly.
And then what about Mayweather? What's the plan for Mayweather?
So, the problem with Mayweather right now would be we're focused on this Tyson release, and that's going to be around the fight.
Okay.
So maybe we'll do Floyd in December. We'll do some special releases. We've got the gold gloves, like I told you.
Yeah,
that are going to be
gold gloves, autographed. Yeah. How many of those are going to be made?
There'll be a total of 110 autographed with gold gloves throughout the 3 different sizes, the 2 ounce, 5, and 10.
Well, the 10 ounce, the 10 ounce Tyson, there's only 10 in the world.
There's only 10 in the world.
And there's going to be only 10
Mayweather
gold glove autograph.
Yeah.
Are SD Bullion customers going to get a crack at any of these?
You got it. Yeah. 100%.
And so Pete Rose is coming out now. Can we show off? To me, I just love these. What were you calling these types of cards earlier?
So these are the Cosmos.
The Cosmos, yeah.
So we needed to add something to this to this entire vintage that made it a little bit more unique.
Okay.
So the design team, we sat down and we said, we want to do something with the space element because I personally love space. We're from Houston, right?
Yeah.
This is Space City. Yeah. So let's put our stamp on this collectible world by creating something of one of the most iconic names in baseball.
Yep.
Now, love or hate Pete Rose, the guy was an animal. Okay,
Yeah.
the guy embodied baseball. Grab the dirt, put it on the bat. Let's go. 4,256 hits, like professional hits. I mean, I just think that's going to be tough to beat.
On the card I saw downstairs at 4256, did he write that on there?
Yeah,
Oh,
those
wow.
are all inscribed. So,
wow.
So going back to the Cosmos series, so everything that we do with Cosmos from now on will be inscribed. So this will be our new inscription line that we're adding into these chases. So you'll have, for instance, your base card. Let's just take the gold base card here. So this is just like the Tyson one you guys have had some success with.
Yep.
Right, so we made 500 of those.
I love the back of this too. It's just clean. It's gold.
It's clean. Again, credit to the design team. Just did a good job of basically showing Pete walking off into the sunset almost. Right, you've got the Cook Islands inside the baseball.
Yeah.
That's the first time the King has ever been in a baseball before. So you've got some cool elements there, and then you've got the autograph red refractor chase card. We instead of autographing minimal, we autographed all of them. So in my opinion, I love the introduction of these Cosmos, but there's something about this card that just stands out to me. Like you see it and you're like, wait a minute, hold on, what is that? And then that's and on top of it all, it's a 0.5 gram of pure gold, like recoverable. Yeah. Right? So this isn't like foil.
If you had to, you could melt it and get the gold.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Because most products you see like this on the market, even in our traditional gold and silver space, you can't recover the gold out of.
No, you can't.
Did we bring the one with the patch, the numbered patch? This one right here. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Pristine.
Yeah. This one where you have the Pristine tin. So I guess for anybody, obviously we know what MS70s are. Maybe just run through what a Pristine tin is real quick for everybody.
So we graded these with the CGC, and I'm not. CGC is owned. It's the same company that owns NGC, the coin grading service that we all know. And we helped them launch a new vertical called their Signature Series. As you can see, anything that's autographed is in the Signature Series label.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And anything that graded Pristine, in their opinion, and Pristine is they give that grade out like less than 1% of the time.
So is that higher than a 10?
It's a 10 max. Like it's like a
10
it's like a 10, like a CAC or something, right? Where it's like it's a 10, it's so perfect that they're giving it a Pristine grade. But they reserve these grades for cards that really just meet the mark in centering. If it has an autograph, the autograph has to be pristine. The edges have to be pristine. The surface has to be pristine. The centering has to be pristine, etc. And you would think that with coins, it's like, well, you should make them all pristine. But it's manufacturing and it's done by machines and man. You're gonna have issues.
Yeah.
It's just part of life.
I always love when
a piece of dust could fall from the sky.
Hair, anything.
Whatever, right?
Anything.
It happens.
Yeah. Yeah, and so is this on purpose, kind of looking like a baseball number 10 patch? Yeah. This is my favorite one so far. How many of these did you make?
Out of the 500, I think there's only 12.
12
that made that grade. Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully one finds its way on SD Bullion at some point.
I hope so too.
All right, that's really exciting.
And then you've got your Cosmos one.
Oh
in there.
Shoot! Yeah.
So going back into the Cosmos, so let's just say, for instance, one of your customers buys one of the base cards with the chase element.
Yeah.
Then this is one of the 3 things they can expect
Okay.
to get. They're either going to get a base card, or they'll get an autograph refractor, or they'll get one of our inserts, which is the new Cosmos line that will all be autographed and inscribed. And there is one of one in the silver and gold.
Yep.
And then we have limited runs of different ones that you can see on your website that have all of the breakdowns of all the inscriptions.
Okay. Are you making more legal tender trading cards or coins for each release?
Again, listening to the customers, right? Believe it or not, I thought the cards would be something we would do once, but people they want the cards.
I love them. This is my first time to ever see anything like it. And when I saw the video, the Pete Rose ones that you were doing, and we'll make sure we loop that in over the video.
Sure.
I was like, Kenny, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, and how do we get that at SD
Right.
Bullion? Because that was like one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time.
Sure.
So it is interesting that, I mean, I don't know. They just catch your eye. When you look at the back, I was noticing, like this 1 of 1 has its even the reverse is 1 of 1, right?
Yeah.
Because it's different than this one.
Right.
And it's really cool. Like when you see this in person, you won't be able to see it on camera most likely. You got to kind of turn it. But it's Pete Rose standing there doing these numbers, his helmet off.
He's a beast.
It's really cool.
So
It's really cool.
a hobby shop called me. They had bought some Tyson and some Flair stuff. And they said, at first we had a little bit of issue selling it. He said, then I started putting your cards in people's hands.
Yep.
And the second that I started doing that, and they're like, how much is this?
Yeah.
And it's $69. And they're
Yeah.
like, I'll buy 2.
Yeah.
I'll buy 3. I want to give one to my buddy.
Yeah.
I want to give one to my cousin. And it started to do it, and that's really how we've done it, is being able to get in those hobby shops and people just to be able to hold it in their hand and say, I got to have it. It's pure silver? Yeah. It's pure gold? Right. I got to have it. So it's like you said, once you get it in your hand and really start looking at it and looking at the aesthetics, looking at the design, looking at the production quality, we believe it's one of the highest quality products on the market.
I mean, I have to imagine the people that are buying Celebrity Mint product, you're probably getting a lot of return business.
Yes.
Because, I mean, even in the packaging, just check out the packaging alone. I mean, this is Mayweather. It's unique. It's got Mayweather on it.
Yeah, look inside's got a velvet insert.
I mean, so the amount of effort you guys put into packaging alone, I mean, this is just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, again, we wanted to make that 1 of 1 kind of collectible feel.
Yeah.
Right? We wanted to make that very limited, very exclusive type of deal. And that was our way of doing it, was to really spare no expense and make a very cool, very exclusive and affordable product.
Yeah. Well, you guys have done that. I think we've seen everything on the table, I think. Can you drop any names publicly that are coming down or no?
Yeah, I can. I can tell you we've got an Allen Iverson deal coming out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got an AI deal coming out.
Okay.
It's going to break the board. I mean, because we're doing a collab with an artist, a very well-known artist in the collectible space.
Yeah.
And I believe this product could be like one of those transitional products that might kind of help set the tone for what we're really trying to accomplish. We also have Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
And we've got Ken Griffey Jr. So
Okay.
we've got...
You got Junior.
Got Junior.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's exciting. I mean, at some point, we've got to figure out how to do something exclusive with these celebrities for SD Bullion
talking about it.
customers alone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just getting too excited. So, big names coming down. What's the best? Do you have a good story so far about Celebrity Mint? I mean, imagine working with celebrities maybe different than what you do in your normal day job. You got any good stories for us?
Did you see the Dana White video?
I did see the Dana White video, yeah.
So the Dana White video was, I would say, probably one of our biggest, kind of most viral moments.
Yeah.
And the way it happened was just insane, because we were at Fanatics Fest. So we're sitting at Fanatics Fest, and there are people. We got Jake Paul walking on the floor, Dana White walking on the floor. Tom Brady literally walks right by our
crazy,
table.
yeah.
It's insanity. And we saw Dana kind of migrating, and he has this huge crowd. He's got, number one, he's got police officers all around him, and then he's got this crowd of people following him, trying to get selfies.
Why does somebody like that have all that but not Brady? What am I missing?
Brady had it.
Okay.
Yeah, Brady had
okay.
it, but I just didn't think it was
So you
that
could
big.
you could just see by the crowds moving where different people
Yeah,
were
right.
at. Okay.
Well, Brady came out early too. Brady came at like 9, so Dana came out like at 1.
Okay.
So there was more people there. There was just
Okay.
more attendance, and there was more people in the audience. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give him, because I know he's a huge Tyson fan. I was like, let me give him one of our gold Tyson coins. I was like, I just want to put one in his hand. They're like, man, you're going to get mobbed. You know, the cops are going to. I was like, well, we'll just give it a shot. So I walk around. We got a camera guy there. And he's kind of walking with me, and he's like, hey, I recognize these guys. They're like his handlers.
Okay.
Let's go that way.
Okay.
So we cut the entire crowd off. We go in opposite direction.
Going directly kind of towards him.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and he's coming up. He makes the left.
Okay.
And we start going this way, and we just meet in the middle. And literally, there was like this mob, and there's just this little tight seam, and I just stuck my hand in and kind of shouldered this way. And he was like, hey. And then everyone kind of backed off.
Yeah.
And after that, after that interaction, we had people flood the table. And it was so awesome because now you're starting to get the questions that we've been trying to answer this whole time, which was, we're making legal tender precious metals collectibles of icons.
Yep.
Period. Like, that's what we're doing. And to be able to share that message and to get stuff, people were buying stuff, and the website went crazy. Then TMZ picked it up, and then that went crazy.
Sports Illustrated.
All these different publications started picking up our brand, and it was a win for us because, I mean, look, we have 5 or 6 people on our team that have been busting their butt for a year and a half for a moment like that.
Yep.
And to reap the benefits of someone actually seeing our product in a later video, which was not sponsored by us by any means. Matter of fact, it was sponsored by Topps.
Yeah.
And he picks up our card off the table in a Topps paid for ad and says, this is a legit real card, and it's our Tyson product.
Yeah.
And the guy from Topps who's sitting right next to him, his face gets red. You know, he's like,
what are you doing?
I'm going to get fired for this. But it's Dana, right? And what is anybody going to say to Dana?
Well, the coolest thing about that part of the video, though, because Dana was showing off the UFC cards that he bought at Fanatics, right?
Right.
And then there's the Tyson, and it's gold.
Yep.
And it's real gold. And it's the only thing that's gold on the table.
Yep.
Right? Everything on there was lower vintage, all that value, but there's only one product that had actual base metal gold in it.
And those cards were cool.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to buy that John Jones. I'd love to buy that Puka Nakua that he was talking about. I'd love to buy some of those cards on there. But at the end of the day, I believe that the one that has an intrinsic gold value that literally is, right there in the ballpark of its retail price just feels like a long-term, a better play. I'm not saying those other ones aren't, but if I'm picking, I'm taking that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, it's the one that stuck out to me.
Yeah, right? Well, it stuck out to him, too.
He pulled it on the table.
He said a guy gave it to me, and they said, this is a legit real card.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, we didn't pay him to say that.
Right.
Like, I don't think we have enough money to pay Dana to say that, right? He's not a guy that's going to... I don't see Dana as a guy that's going to take a bribe to promote a product.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a guy to do that. So that was a cool...
That's a great story. We'll definitely have the links to the video on that. If you haven't seen it yet, it's super cool. My man just rushed up there, got right in Dana White's face, and TMZ covered it, Sports Illustrated covered it.
Yeah.
So that was really exciting for the brand. Anything else that we need to cover that we haven't covered? I mean, if we look a year or two down the road for Celebrity Mint, where do you, like, why should the people watching this start investing in the Celebrity Mint product? Like, what are they going to get out of this in the future?
Yeah, well, I mean, one promise that you can get from us is that we're spending all of our free time innovating new products, right? Separating ourselves from...
It looks nothing like what's on the market, by the way.
Right, exactly. And we've got a really cool product that we're working on now. I don't really want to talk much about it yet, but it's a global superstar in the soccer world.
Oh, wow.
And, well, I can break it. So we're going to embed actual game-used memorabilia into the coin. Okay, now we won't be the first person to do this, but we'll be the first person to do it on a scale like this with an athlete like this.
Okay.
I think it's going to be special, and because of that, there's some other iterations of that product that are really in R&D right now. So one thing you can guarantee from Celebrity Mint, that we're going to spend all the money in the world we can to innovate products and bring the biggest names and the biggest stars to the product, to the brand.
Awesome.
Okay.
You guys have done that so far. You already said who's coming next.
I mean, you got Griffey.
Some of the biggest names.
Allen Iverson.
I mean, to do that in such a short period of time with a new brand, not already being from, like, you guys weren't from the celebrity space.
No.
You guys are one of the largest
We're like opposite
coin shops
of celebrities.
and
No,
coin dealer experts, and so to get there that quick, I mean, what a testament to your team and what you guys are working on. And so I know SD Boyne's excited about what you guys are doing. That's why we're here. Appreciate the time. Thanks for showing me around. I got to go downstairs to see all the product. That's perks of the job, as they say.
No doubt.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be getting some exclusive stuff from Celebrity. We'll be getting some of the autograph stuff that's maybe been not shown out there to the world. Hopefully we can get some of that for our customers. So we're super excited to see where this goes, buddy.
Hey, I appreciate you having me. Thanks.
All right, man. Thanks.